Hey guys, what's up? Mr. Surplus Nut, bringing a video on this new caliber that I'm starting to reload for, and it's from this gun I purchased. Is the Tokarev M-57 Tokarev, and it's a great gun. I purchased it from Classic Firearms, and it is a surplus gun, and I'm working on that gun. If you've seen my first video on customizing it a little bit, so just look around and check these videos that I'm going to be uploading on that gun. So far I've really done everything on the gun, but on this video I want to talk about the dies that I purchased, because I haven't found a whole lot of videos on reloading for this caliber, and the ones that I have found is like people make it very problematic. So I want to bring a video to show you guys my setup, and I've already reloaded 10 rounds of the 7.62 by 25 Tokarev. It's a very fast round, so I'm gonna be reloading for this for my gun, and on another video you guys can probably see the complete customization that I'm doing to the gun. I've done some cuts on the slide. I've gotten my barreled micro jeweled, which basically it's what I'm using now for a case length gauge, since they don't have one out there for this caliber. So I wanted to show you guys on this video about the dies that I purchased. Again, the videos that I found on YouTube on the 7.62 by 25 Tokarev, everybody's going with the Lee dies, and they seem to have a lot of problems because when they load the cartridge, the neck, this cases don't have a whole lot of neck, so they tend to they don't have a good expander. I don't know what the deal with the Lee dies are. I found some videos where guys are having luck with it, but it's it seems to be a little bit of an issue with the guys when they're seating the bullet in the neck. It tends to crush the neck or smush it down. I haven't had no issues with these dies that I purchased from Reddings, and so there's another video that they talk about maybe going with Hornady. Hornady makes dies, but I think they make it for the 30 Luger, which is what I purchased for. Anyways, when I think you buy the dies from Lee, it's for the 7.62 by 25 Tokarev, but they also on the instructions you have it that you can set it up for the 30 Luger. Pretty much the case is identical. Now you cannot buy like 30 Luger, not 30 Luger, I'm sorry guys, 30 Mauser, that's what it is. The 30 Mauser case, I'll take that back, it's not 30 Luger, 30 Mauser cases, they're pretty much identical to the 7.62 by 25. If you actually look at the actual measurement of the case, or the specification of the case on the 30 Luger, I keep saying the Luger, the 30 Mauser, it's 7.63, which is loaded with a 310 312 bullet, because 7.62 is 308, but 7.63 by 25, it's the specs on the 30 Luger. On the 7.25 by 25, it's the 7.62 by 25 for the 30 Mauser. So pretty much they are the same cases. Now you cannot get a 30 Mauser and load it with the powder load that you will do a Tokarev 7.62 by 25, because it takes more powder, it's a hotter load, and you rip the shoulder and the actual case mouth out of the cases. I've purchased my brass from Star Brass, and they specified this very well on there. So to make a long story short, all you got to do, don't go crazy that if you don't have the right dies for the 7.62 by 25, that if you go with the Lees, yeah, RCBS, they make it, and I believe maybe Hornady, but to be sure, and it's only just a little bit more than what you will be paying for the Lee dies, go with the 30 Mauser Reddings. Okay, 30 Mauser Reddings, and that's it. That's all you need, man. You get Redding quality. It's great dies. You get a set of 3, and this is what everybody pretty much is using. Again, I haven't found good videos on somebody just coming on saying, listen, just go with the Reddings 30 Mauser dies and you're good to go. I reloaded a few of these. I've measured it on my chamber of my barrel, and I have no issues with it. They seat really good. What I did was I got an empty case, okay, and I resized it. My empty cases, I've resized it on the full length resizing die, and I throw them in here in the chamber, and they go in, and I can tell the height, how it goes in. And besides that, I'm using this as a gauge, my barrel, which is the main thing, because remember, you're putting your cartridge inside your chamber of your barrel. And by the way, this gun came with an excellent barrel. It's like brand new. I'm gonna have a barrel here for a long time. And so I'm using my barrel of my gun as my cartridge overall length to try them out, because eventually these are the cartridges that are gonna go in my barrel, in my gun. So this will be better than anything. So what I've done, I've gotten the cases, brand new cases, from Star Brass, 7.62 by 25, and I've resized them on the full length sizing die on the Redding. And once they're all resized, you just gotta put the primer on. They use small rifle primers, what you will use on a 223 9mm 38 special. And once you get them primed up, from after you resize it, all you have to do is run it through the expander die, which I'm going to talk to you guys about that. And you will not have an issue with your neck, no matter if the neck is real small. You won't have a problem. And then you just got to charge it up with powder and seat the bullet. As simple as that. Now this is what I've been doing. Going back to this, let me I'm going to talk about the die, so don't worry about it. But just so you guys know, after I resize the case, what I've been doing, I put it in my chamber. Okay, I turned on my caliper. Okay, make sure it's in inches. And what I do is I've measured the hole right there, and I write it on my book. I know that a brand new brass, brand new resized brass through the resizing die, okay, that fits perfectly in the chamber. Once I fit it in here, and I put it in the chamber of the barrel, and I use the barrel as an overall case length gauge, I know that it's giving me 45.95. Okay, 4,595. So I write that in a book. So now I know that that's the case being properly resized. Even after you come back, after you shoot it and you resize them, you want to throw a few of them in there and make sure you're always going to have that measurement. I mean, at least on my barrel, 45.95. Okay, so once you have that, what I've done, okay, after I've reloaded them, remember, this is just an empty, ready to go case. So obviously I gotta prime it up. But what I do is, after I reload a round, completely reload it with primer, resized, primered, expanded, the bullet seated on it, and I've checked the run out on these, because since they say about the bullet going in crooked And even though it goes in and you look at it by the eye and you think it's straight, you could have the unit misaligned a little bit that your eye won't catch it. So the way to check it is run it through a run out gauge. See how I have it adjusted? And I've checked these, and I've got probably like 1,000, 2,000 of run out, if that. So I know that the Redding dies are doing their job, the seating die. And if you look at how, if you can go to their website or many places where you can see a see-through picture of the regular standard, not even the competition die, because this thing is like incredible. Redding is like, to me, the best dies you can buy in the market right now. If you get, this is my 308 Redding micrometer competition die from my 308s, and it's got a sleeve and everything. You guys, guys that do reloading know what I'm talking about. It's got the inner sleeve that lines up the bullet completely into the case mouth with no chances of going in crooked. And even that type of setup, believe it or not, they have it in their standard dies. Redding does. Because I looked at this is the first time I buy their standard, because everything I get the competition ones with a micrometer. But I'm looking at inside this is the seating die for the 7.62 by 25, and I'm looking inside and I can see where the case will go, where the shape of the shoulder will be, and right where the neck it's gonna end up, and then I see the seating plug in there. So I know that before this thing, there's no chances of going in crooked. It's just everything, the way the die is built, it's lined up completely. Forget about the floating, how Lee advertises it, the floating a plunger, whatever they call it, they're floating, that eventually it finds its way and lines it up. Listen, I've seen the lead dies, and I've have a couple, okay? And this is the best way to go. Everything, there's no chances of nothing moving in there, the plunging going anywhere. They're built to very tight tolerances. So this is the way to go. So back to this. Once I have a full cartridge, what I do is I throw it back in the chamber of my barrel, and I know that you start picking it up where just by where the after the head of the case, where the actual body of the case starts, that if you're good or not. But just to double check, you want to check it with your caliper. So what I do is, again, the same scenario, same thing, procedure that I did with an empty case. Okay, I do it now with a regular loaded round. And I started doing it, and I started getting a few thousands higher, but that's because the bullet is starting to hit the lands of the rifling, so it was pushing my case a little bit out from the actual chamber. So what I did was I went to the book of Lyman's, and I think it's 13 something, 1395 or something, the maximum overall length of the cartridge. But I noticed that I was hitting the land, so I just started backing it up on my seating die enough that when I noticed that when it went completely in and it measures the same length and height as with an empty case in the chamber, I'm at 1295, and that's great. So now I know that I'm very close to the lands of the rifling, where the rifling starts in the chamber, in the throat. So right now, I know that I'm not hitting the lands. There's, because when you get something real tight, like touching the lands, like on my 308s, I try to load like 5,000s off the lands and stuff like that. For more accuracy, I don't really jump my bullets into the rifling. So when I do this, I know that I'm not gonna have an issue with pressure or nothing. So right now I'm loading a full loaded round in here, and for a fact I know that it's measuring the same as with an empty, fully resized case. One of these that I have here, okay, is the same one. So basically what I'm doing, I'm using my barrel as a length gauge to make sure I'm safe. So this thing is loading beautifully, and that's all I do. When I start reloading for this, I just get the barrel out of my gun and I use it. I don't think L.C. Wilson or I've looked around to see if they have an overall cartridge gauge length gauge, and I haven't found one for this caliber. So I just didn't bother. I say, you know what? I'll just go ahead and do it with the with my barrel. There's nothing better than this, because eventually, like I said, guys, this is where your bullet's gonna go, or your cartridge, and it's gonna get fired out of your barrel. So you want to confirm everything in your chamber of your barrel. So again, one last time, you know, you put a resized, brand new, empty case. It goes in, and you get your caliper, okay, and you measure the whole. It's gonna go flush, and you measure, and you want to write that number down. Keep a book in your log book. I have a reloading log book. I make a little page just for the Tokarev, whatever caliber I'm reloading. So I wrote, you know, the number, that how it measures. Now I started reloading my cartridge, and I guide myself by that. You know, I start putting it in here, and I noticed that when it went in, it was a little higher, and I start measuring with my caliper, and I know that is because my bullet is not seated low enough or deep enough into the case mouth. So right now, you know, I can tell that pretty much I'm probably touching the lands where the rifling starts. So I just seat it a little deeper. It's not gonna probably change it too much in accuracy, and I'm good to go. So that's that. So going to the dice, guys, you go with the Reddings 30 Mauser. I even call Redding myself, and I asked them, listen, I'm starting to reload for the 7.62 by 25 Tokarev. Are the 30 Mauser dice good for that? Tech support told me that. He goes, that's what you need. That's what you use. Go for it. You should be fine. Now, these are the beauties of this thing. It comes with this case. You get all three of them with an Allen key to tie the ring around the thing. Now, I already have these dies. I use a lead press, so I already have this die with a quick release bushings. Already, all my dies are set up, so I'm not going to take them apart to show them to you, but I did this drawing on the expander die so you can understand how the actual expander looks and how great it is. So yes, guys, so let me show you real quick. These are the three dies. I have them right here. Three beauties from Reddings on 30 Mauser to load the 7.62 by 25 Tokarev. No issues with it. It was a dream. Easy. Don't go nuts. Don't go crazy. The guys that are using the lead dies for this caliber, they're having issues setting them up, and I hear all this stuff. I did not go through none of that. None of that. Okay? So basically, let me show you. This one here will be your full length. It'll say FL on it. 30 Mauser. Redding 30 Mauser. FL meaning full length. It's got a 90 on there. But this is already set up. It's got the decapper pin. So this is going to resize your case. Really nice. It's just going to resize it. Obviously, you don't have this to for the primer, to de-prime it if you come back from a firing session. So this is your full length resizing die. This one's going to resize it and de-prime it. This is it right here. Now this one, okay, this one is the expander. Okay, so what this does, okay, this is going to expand your neck, and it's the expander stem. It's a three-step stem. Okay, I believe maybe RCBS uses it like that, and Dylan too. So the stem, it'll have the first step where it'll expand your actual neck, and then it has like a little area where it goes a little wider. I made a little drawing so I can show you. It goes a little wider, which your bullet, it's gonna fit perfect. Okay, and then the last step, it bells out the case a little bit. Now that you gotta be careful, because you don't want to have too much of a bell on it. Okay, and I'm gonna reload a few so I can show you how you do this. So right now, I just want to show you from my book. I did a little drawing just so you can see how the actual stem is on the actual expanding die. This is the expander, the stem. This is the part that is gonna expand your neck, okay? And it takes it in 2 steps. And I've checked it because I'm reloading right now. Hornady XTP 309 bullets, the hollow points, which are great. They're 309s, not 308. And these cases came from factory. I checked it with my caliper at 305. Okay, and there's a guy on YouTube that has a couple of videos on this caliber that he's saying that there's an issue and this and that. I don't know. I checked all of them. That's where they're coming at from, Start Brass, and yeah, at 3.305. That's what I measure with my caliper. So this one expands it. Okay, remember, you want to have good neck tension, so you want to be at least 2 thousandths below the actual bullet diameter. So if it's 308, you might want to have your neck at 306 or 305, around there. Well, no, yeah, if it's 308. But this, I'm loading 309. So this actually came, some of them were 304, 305, 0.304, 0.305 on the inside of the neck. So the stem, it's going to expand it a little bit in 2 steps so you don't overstress the actual neck itself. So this is actually the measure. The second step is the measurement you want to really end up at. Okay, and then it does that, and then here at the very end is where it does the bell for you. It bells out the case mouth, just so when you put the little bullet in on top, doesn't kind of want to wiggle everywhere. It just stays straight, and that's all. And then you adjust it little by little. What I did was I put an empty case, and I've moved my ram all the way up with an empty case, and I started screwing in my die. Once I noticed that it touched the mouth of the case, I started adjusting it down from there. And once I knew I was inside the thing, I kept adjusting it a few thousandths at a time and taking the case out, Then what I do, which is what you guys are going to see, to make sure I got a good, I just get a very slight little bit of a bell. Once I test it with the bullet out here, and I know that the bullet's staying, like I put it with my fingers and it's not falling on me and it's staying there by itself, and I try to put the minimum amount of a bell on the case neck, okay, because you don't want that interfering when you put it in your chamber, that you have an issue or whatever. So as long as it starts holding the bullet, and what you do is as soon as it starts belling out your case, you start going like this on the neck, and you'll feel it. Like right now, I can feel that it's like straight. You feel no edge on it, and once you start giving it that bell, you go like this, and it's like the end of a bell that you ring, or think like of a trumpet. That's what they call bell in the case mouth, just so you can sit the bullet. So pretty much once you go like this and you feel it, you start feeling on the little rim at the edge like it's belling out. And the least you can put on it to get you where you can see the bullet straight without issue, leave it there. You don't want to overstress the case mouth and do a few thousandths down and belling it a lot and then have problems, okay? So pretty much, just so you'll see, because I wanted to try to do this and break down the die and show you the expander, but I got so excited to reload this that I just I went ahead and got the quick release bushings, and I started setting on my dies, and I said, I'll just do a drawing and explain it, and hopefully I'm sure guys that are reloading for this caliber will understand, or if you reload for any other caliber and you're starting to do this one. So this is it, man. This is the expander, pretty much what it looks like. Oh, another thing that I did, I got the whole stem, the tip of it, and I polished it. I polished it with up to 3000 grit sandpaper, starting from like 800. Okay, and then I got my Dremel with a buffing wheel, and it's like a mirror that you can look yourself in it. So that's pretty much it, guys. These are the dies. These are the Redding dies, the 30 Mauser that I'm using for the 7.62 by 25, reloading this caliber, which is awesome. And right now I'm loading it with H110. I haven't been able to, this is what I had in hand. I have this for my 300 blackout. I have this pistol. I have this, and I have little gun, which is pretty much, they run pretty close. I wanted to get some blue dot or accurate number 9, but I haven't found none of that or gone out, because I figure I do my first load. This is my first time trying this caliber and reloading for it. I'm waiting for, so the last thing I need to finish customizing my Tokarev M-57. It's a nice pair of wood grips that I ordered for it. but I'll show you guys the gun. So this is what I'm loading with, H110, and I'm loading, I think it's no, it's not 12.9, it's 13 grains of H110, and according to the book, I'm gonna be shooting these things around maybe 1500 feet per second in the velocity. So I think I'm gonna be good to go. So right now I'm just gonna go ahead and load a couple for you guys. So one of the things that I'm gonna do is get the full length resizing die, and since these are brand new brass, you can probably, some people take a chance and they just reload it like that because it fits perfectly on my chamber, but I usually try to run it through the full length resizer. I don't take a chance. So what I do is, since I'm gonna, again, these I have to resize them, I'm going to go ahead and let's do that now. We'll go ahead and put the die on here on the press. Okay, this thing is already set up. What I use for this, guys, is the best there is, Reddings Imperial sizing wax. Just put a little bit on your fingers, and we're gonna go ahead and stick with this video. I mean, I think with this video, all the information I'm giving you, telling you to get the Redding dies from 30 Mauser for 30 Mauser from Reddings. You can reload your 7.62 by 30 by 25. 30 Mauser is the way to go with these Reddings, and you should be good to go using your barrel as a guide for everything. And you want to get your case and put some Redding on there, the wax. And what I do now is just gonna clean them real quick. So just stick with me, guys, and we'll go through this 5 cases. I really been wanting to do this video because I went crazy looking for videos for this, and you know, there's this guy Tree Life or something, I can't remember his channel. You know, it's the only video I found on explaining the dies, and he had a automatic turret with a bunch of lead dies and one from Hornady, and he made it, to me, was like, oh my god, what am I getting into? You know, and then I, you know, like saying that you get a custom die, and that the decrushes the neck and the shoulder, the lead dies, and this and that. And I was like, oh my god, I don't know if I should even buy this gun and think about reloading for it. And then I saw the videos where guys were going at it, reloading with the lead dies, but they were complaining that, you know, they had a hard time setting them up or whatever. And then the other guy was saying that he also had problems setting the bullets, seating the bullets. So I was like, you know, and then I did my research on the internet. You know, I went to a few forums, and I've seen, all I gathered was everybody's using the Reddings 30 Mauser cases, not cases, dies. And then, you know, to make sure, I called Reddings, and they told me that that this is the way to go. And then I bought the dies from Grafs and Son, $52 for the set of 3, and the leads are going for 35 and change. So it can't be that much expensive, guys. If you want something that you want to be safe, not have issues, and be worried about this and going through a hard time reloading, go with quality. I mean, you know, and this is the way to go. Okay, so I'm doing my last, waxing up my last case. Let's resize it here on the press, and we're gonna be good to go. Now, what I'm doing, guys, you know, I'm using my Gen Pro 250, a gray scale. They don't even make it no more for this. So I got this set up for 13 grains of powder, and I'm just throwing it straight into the case. For pistol, if you're a couple grains more and less, you know, it's just what's going to open up your groups of a little bit. It won't be that significant, as long as you stay within your limits. But every 3 or 4 throws, I'll verify it on my scale. So I'm good to go with that. So okay, so now we finish resizing these 5 cases. I'm gonna take my full length resizing die, Put it here aside so I don't get confused. These things are a beauty. I'm gonna get to prime them up. I got my priming these up real quick, guys. You just be patient. Some people complain about reloading videos being long, but how else are you gonna learn? How else are you gonna get information? I mean, if you just want something quick, I don't know. But I think with this video that I'm gonna make, it will give you enough to get you started and get the right equipment and the proper procedure on how to do this. Just stick with me. I already primed them up. It's not that long. Okay, so that's done. Okay, so now what we're gonna do, we're gonna use, now we finished resizing the 5 cases through the full length resizer. We're gonna use the expander die now, which is this one here, this beauty right here. So it's already set up for me. Okay, put it in there with my quick release bushing on the lead press. And now what I do is I use the little graphite dry neck loop on this. And I just go ahead and stick the little case in it, like this. That's enough. Put it in here, and this thing is ready to go. Okay, just so you guys can see what I do, this is already been expanded, ready to go. Let me get a bullet. So you guys can see, this is what I told you guys. You get the neck. See, like now I can feel that it's different. You get the actual from the shoulder, and you slide your 2 fingers towards the case mouth, and I can feel the little bell on there. And it's just enough to get me started with the bullet. See? Look how good it holds it, like a little cup. Look at that. Super straight, no issues. Look at this. Doesn't even fall off. It's a beauty. So now what we're gonna do, let me put it here so I don't get confused. We're gonna go ahead. I even use this for my precision reloading 308s, bench rest and all that, just to loop the neck. So when you put your powder, if you have wax inside the neck, it'll start sticking the particles, it will start sticking. Just like that. Wipe the outside a little bit. Okay, 3 more. Not to put no stress on the mouth. Always work with a rag, microfiber. It's got this little balls. You guys should see this. This is great for this. Okay, so right now we're doing the 4th one. I'm gonna do 5 for you. Okay, and I know that this thrower, the Lee thrower, it's not like a Reddings competition that it's gonna throw it there. They, you know, RCVS has one that's got a micrometer. They all do. You know, pretty much everybody has a micrometer. Lee is the cheapest, but usually I just use this not to just throw it straight to the case. I don't do this on my precision rifles or my ARs or nothing. What I do is I use this as a thrower, and if I'm reloading, let's say, if I'm loading on the case, let's say 40 grains of Varget or any powder, let's just go by the measurement, 40 grains, I set it up, and let me tell you, I get it pretty close and pretty constant. And he throws me, I set it up, if I need 40 grains, it'll throw me like 39.6, 39.8, and then I just finish trickling in. I use the trickler, the Reddings trickler with the trick of the straw, to get it to where I want. So here what I'm doing is the same thing. I'm getting it to where it's throwing, I need 13 grains of H110. So I have it to where it's throwing me 12.8 like that. No, on this I have it like pretty close. It's either gonna throw me 12.9, 13 for the most parts. A lot has to do with the way you do the handle all the time. And if not, it'll throw a little over like 13.2, 13.1, but that's fine. If you're looking for 13 grains of 110, if you're like 12.8, 12.9, or 13.1, like that, it's not gonna make a big difference in your groups for pistol. Okay, so what I do is I just get the case and go straight to the actual bottom of the thrower and load them like this. So it's gonna be fast, so don't worry, just be a little patient. Let me do this last one. Okay, so we're set to go with this one. So now I'm gonna show you guys what I do. So this is the process. Okay, now I've got these 5 cases that you see here completely resized, expanded, and everything. What I do is I check it in my actual barrel. Once I know that all 5 are good, which I can guarantee you they are, now I start putting the powder and putting the bullet. That's it. Simple as that. So we're gonna go in here. Okay, usually what I do too, I get a Q-tip, and I just dry the inside to make sure nothing sticks. Q-tips go a long way. So you just put it in there, bring it down, boom, we're loaded. Okay guys, be patient. We're just gonna load. See, the powder's not even sticking on the mouth of the case. So just going right from the thrower. Okay, you can even tell you're pretty much even with the with how they look inside the case. You're pretty much there. Okay, beautiful. 2 more. Patient. Patience is a virtue. Right here, my man. Okay, 1 more, and we're gonna seat this bullets, and I'm done. And if this helped out you guys, you know, hit the like button. I need that, please. And subscribe to my channel. I have good videos that you can check out. Some people have criticized me, but you get that all the time. You got your trolls, people that have nothing better to do. Okay, but I just mean well, guys. I want to help out. So okay, so now we got that. Okay, now we're gonna change the die for the cedar. So we already used the full length resizing die. Now we're gonna go ahead and get the seating die, which is already set up at the proper length that I need. Okay, I did all this last night, so we're good to go. So now we got these 5 cases here with powder, and we're gonna go ahead and load them with the bullets. So now you come here to the press. Okay, you got the bullet. I have one here. Just put it there, and I'm gonna show you guys. See, this thing just stands there by itself without a problem. Just sit it real nice, no crushing, no nothing. Check this out, guys. A beautiful round, no issues. The Reddings 30 Mauser dies for the 7.62 by 25. Don't buy the Lees. Forget about Hornady, RCBS. Redding quality, $52. Find it wherever you can. I bought mine at Grass and Sun. Okay, and everything's a beautiful round. So right here, no issues, no crushing, no nothing, no issues at all. And look at this, everything fits perfect, beautifully. I know that goes in. I'm not even gonna measure it because I know everything's been set already. I did all this last night, and I double checked it and everything. Look at that, how beautiful, perfect. Micro jewel barreled from my Tokarev custom. Wait till you guys see it. So there we go. We got the first one. I reloaded these here to the left last night. So guys, just be patient. I'm gonna let you go in a couple minutes. We got 3 more to do. Let me take out the bullets. So this is the way to go. And these bullets, they seem to be the best ones for these. And you can use this round for self-defense. These bullets, I'm sorry. They are the hollow point. They load these for a regular 9mm and stuff, but these are 308s. These type of bullets, the Hornady XTP hollow point, they're self-defense bullet tips. And they're great. These little rounds are gonna be smoking, man. These things are 90 grain with H110 at 13 grains. It should be going about 15. I think it might even be 1600 feet per second. It'll be a rocket. Super powerful. To me, this is more powerful for sure. And you can check the videos on YouTube. Okay, this round is just pretty much below the 10 millimeter. Okay, I'll take this anytime. Go to the Pharrell has a bunch of videos on these, on penetrating armor, going through meat, bunch of stuff. And there's a guy that's comparing this with a 357 and some other caliber, and that penetrates books. He's got a bunch of books, and he shoots a 357 Magnum. He shoots this one, and I believe it's a 40. And this one went further than the 357. Okay, so these things, you can load them to where you can get them to around 16 to 1650 feet per second, and the pound of energy, it's about 500. So this is a very powerful round. This is definitely more than a 9 millimeter, a 380, 9 millimeter, 38 special, 38 super, a 40, and even a 357 SIG. A good 357 SIG, you're doing about 1500, 1400 feet per second. So just check this out. Do your research. So beautiful round right here. Okay, we got 3 more. So I wish Glock or Smith & Wesson will do like a M&P or a Glock on this caliber. Maybe with a 17 round magazine or something like that. That would be awesome. And again, guys, I've checked the runouts on this, so I'm not even going to check it on this. I know this Redding dies are seating this thing so straight that I don't have an issue. So this is it right here. Okay, I'm just showing you guys so you guys can see. Perfect. Oh, hold on. Getting it quite there yet. I don't know what happened to this one. This thing oh. See, on this one I'm having a little bit of an issue. I don't know if I didn't maybe push the RAM all the way up where it didn't bell the case really good. Okay, I got it pretty straight there. It'll load it there. Let me see. Oh yeah, it went in. And let me tell you guys, this one went in pretty crooked on the case. Let's see how straight it's gonna load it. So you can see what the Redding dice could do. Look at this. Super straight. It didn't crush the case, the neck or shoulder or anything. And I put it inside the die with the bullet actually kind of like on a 45-degree angle. But the internals of the Redding seating die, it has like a sleeve in there that it lines up your neck, shoulder, everything. And then the plunger where it sits the bullet, it's so tight in tolerance wise that it grabs the bullet tip and drives it in there in a little tunnel where there's no space for the bullet to move either way. Okay, so this is the last one. There we go. We're going in. That's it. Last round, guys. So here we go. These are the ones I just did. Awesome rounds. Ready to go. And again, using my barrel as a guide. And then, just so you guys can know, these are the dies that you got to go with. Okay, guys, the Mauser 30.